Most people think that malls in Kuala Lumpur are about shopping, but they actually show how life really works here. But the interesting part isn't the shops or the sales. After living here, I've noticed that malls in Kuala Lumpur are basically climate control, community centres and daily routines stacked on top of one another. Once you see them that way, the city starts to make a lot more sense. I've been living in Kuala Lumpur for a little while now, and I've learned a lot by observing how the community and the people use these spaces. So today I'm at the Exchange TRX shopping mall to show you what Kuala Lumpur malls quietly reveal about life here. And there's one spot in the mall that changed completely how I view them. Okay, if you're familiar with Kuala Lumpur, you'll know about the climate here. It's warm weather year round, and it is that type of tropical weather where we can feel the heat if we stay out exposed for a long period of time. And also, you need to be wary of the tropical downpours that can happen at any point, especially in the afternoon here in Kuala Lumpur. So as I pan the camera around, you can see the contrast of the sun here starting to come through. And that kind of shows you the stark contrast of being in the outdoor areas of Kuala Lumpur. Again, if I pan the camera around here, you can see we have the mall entrance here to TRX. We're about to make our way in to see what life is actually like here. Okay, so just made my way into the TRX shopping mall. And as you can see here, it's a very fine establishment. Everything really nicely designed, immaculately clean. And you can see it's a very kind of standout shopping mall here in Kuala Lumpur. And also, as I entered, you're kind of hit with that nice cool air from the air conditioning. And you can see why people use the shopping malls here as a big part of the community. You'll see all walks of life here, whether it's teenagers, the elderly, the working population. And that stark contrast between outside in the heat and the rain, it shows a big reason as to why a lot of life in Kuala Lumpur here exists in these shopping malls. We're going to explore why this is the case here in Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so I've just gone up to level 2 and found this beautiful display here of the Chinese New Year festival that's coming up. It's a really big part of the culture here in Malaysia, and at the TRX shopping mall here, they've done a fantastic job in showcasing the culture, and it is the year of the horse this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing the culture and festivities that will take place as part of this festival. As we take a break here and enjoy the Chinese New Year decorations that they've put such a wonderful effort into here, just give a bit of background context about this shopping mall. So this is the TRX Exchange. This shopping mall was completed in 2023, and it's part of a bigger initiative here to develop this area of the TRX Exchange as part of the financial district of Kuala Lumpur. It's a big project here to have Kuala Lumpur to continue to develop to be one of the major financial hubs here in Southeast Asia. You can think of it similar to Canary Wharf in London or Marina Bay in Singapore. The mall itself is part of a mixed-use development here that they have built, and it's a mixture of the shopping mall, of course, hotel, offices, residential areas, and a really beautiful location that we're going to show you at the end of the video. So this makes it much more than just a shopping mall. It makes it as part of a kind of like a urban district that they have developed here in the city. And this, my friend, is where we're going to observe today the life in the shopping mall and see how it quietly shapes how people live their lives on a week-to-week basis here in the city. So once you understand why people move indoors and spend such a large amount of time here, I suppose the next thing to understand is, what they actually do with these spaces. So, almost went up the wrong side of the escalator. Okay, this is the right side of the escalator. We're going to head upstairs now to observe and see how people use this space when they come to this type of establishment. So if you take the time here just to sit down and observe, one thing that you'll see when you're in the shopping malls here is you kind of see the whole city walk past you. You'll see families, aunties, uncles, students, groups of teenagers. The whole community can use this as a space to hang out and socialise. It's not really about shopping as the experience in terms of consumerism, but it's more kind of like the people and the community that you choose to share the space with and to socialise with as part of your friendship group or family. So, you know, it really is one of those places where anybody can come and enjoy, regardless of their background or their income. And these type of things, you know, even though TRX is a highly luxurious, and you could even think of it as a fancy shopping mall, even just taking some time to observe and walk around, I've noticed all different types of demographics of people coming here and enjoying the shopping mall. So that's something that's really stands out in Southeast Asia and in Malaysia as well, is these shopping malls. They really are like a central part of community living here. And it's something that I enjoy. You know, I do spend a decent amount of time in the shopping malls here in Kuala Lumpur. You do have a really good range to choose from, and it's something that I encourage you to do because you'll start to realise how they become such a big part of the community life here. Okay, let's take a bit of a walk here, head on to another part of the shopping mall. So to really understand these spaces, you'll need to follow the food. And I know I'm getting hungry, and I know that there are a really good wide range of cuisine choices that you can choose from here. So let's follow the food and head down to the basement. Okay, so just making my way through the shopping mall, and I need to go to the concierge floor and go this way, which leads to the food court. It's called the Food Exchange, I believe. As I'm walking through, you can see how nicely polished and luxurious this shopping mall is. It really is next level. And we can literally walk in past like Dolce & Gabbana, Louis Vuitton store, Gucci down the end there. So quite literally, this is one of the most luxurious, high-end, cleanest shopping malls I think I've ever been in. So you're going to head down to the food court, which is over this way, and there should be an abundance of awesome food options. Okay, so here we are at the Food Exchange, right behind me here. And as you can see, there's a real wide variety of food options here. And to be honest with you, I feel a bit overwhelmed. There's so many options here to choose from. So I'm going to take a look around and sample all the different options that I have. And you can see behind me how crowded it is here. A very popular place in the weekday. So already so far, I've seen so many varieties of different people here. But it is, as it's a weekday, it's mainly office workers here coming for their lunch break, and it's really widely used here. I can imagine the weekends there might be more families here and groups of friends. So yeah, just something to be mindful of. When you come down to this concierge floor as well, where all the food options are, there are a lot of restaurant options as well that I saw. But I'm going to go and check out the food court now and see what I'm going to get for lunch. So lunch calls, and it's a crowded place here in the food court. If you want to follow the social rhythm here, then follow where the food is, follow where the crowds go, because that way you're going to find really delicious food and a really social vibe going. So today I thought I'd try something different. Start with a drink to begin with. I've got some fresh watermelon juice and a bottle of water. And here we have the Singapore fried mee hoon. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Never tried this before. Looks pretty fresh. Thin noodles with some prawns, lettuce, and bean sprouts in there with some spring onion. So it looks pretty fresh, looks pretty healthy. All in all, this cost me, I think, around about 28 ringgit, which comes in at around about $7 or £5 sterling. So not bad for a pretty full meal here. This looks pretty filling, so I'm going to tuck in and enjoy this one. So lunch is over and that absolutely hit the spot. It's a really delicious local meal here at the food court. So now what we're off to do is to think about These shopping malls, they're not just about free air conditioning and convenient lunches. There's also this idea about thinking of work, money, and a bit of aspiration. And when you spend a bit of time here to reflect on this type of thing, it's something you really start to think about. So what we'll do now is find a nice quiet corner to have a little chat about this. Okay, so I thought I'd just come out to the other side of the TRX Exchange shopping mall. This is another really well-polished and beautiful public area for people to enjoy. And as I was walking through the shopping mall, I started to notice a pattern of what I could see. And there is this blend of leisure and productivity, because people are going there not just to kind of socialise and to shop, but also at the same time, you'll notice people are on Zoom calls, replying to emails, maybe editing some social media content. And it just goes to show how much the workspace has changed over the years. And this is an example of that in action, so to speak. It's more flexible and blended with the public space. These days, this type of place isn't just a place to go to the shops, it's also a place where your errands, your coffee catch-ups and your productivity all overlap. Now then, there's one part of this shopping mall that changed my entire outlook of how I view this place. So we're going to make our way there now, and it's right on top of the shopping mall, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised by what we find. As we make our way out of the shopping mall, the second floor, we make our way out to TRX City Park. This is what I was talking about earlier, also known as Taman Bandar TRX. So as I step out here, the whole mall culture vibe and experience kind of makes sense, because as I step out of the air conditioning and make my way out to the garden, I can see now and start to understand that the shopping malls are certainly more than just shopping places. When I first saw this place, it clicked for me. Shopping malls aren't just boxes, they are places for people, for their lifestyle and daily needs. They are hubs that plug into beautiful places of nature, like here, and also daily routines and transportation. It's basically the whole way the city works, and I absolutely love it here. Who would have thought that you could find such beautiful nature and greenery right here within a shopping mall in the centre of the city? This is an absolutely beautiful way to experience Kuala Lumpur and to get in touch with the nature, relax, breathe and enjoy the greenery whilst being surrounded by all of these world-class conveniences and facilities. And so with that in mind, we can just do some reflection about what the shopping malls actually really mean here in terms of living here as an expatriate in Kuala Lumpur and thinking about how to understand them and how to use them in our own regular lives here. You can think of it like this. They are air-conditioned, comfortable spaces in a humid climate. They are a meeting point in a spread out city, and they are a shared living room for a lot of different lives. If you pay attention, they quietly reveal what people value here. Comfort, connection, and a bit of aspiration, all wrapped under one single roof. Talking about shared living spaces and changes in the weather, the heavens have opened. I better get inside. Luckily, my camera is water resistant. I'll catch you back inside. Okay, that is the Exchange TRX, and a bit of a background as to what's going on between the shops in terms of this magnificent shopping mall as a community space. It looks as though the weather has turned and it's continuing to rain, and this is a perfect example of how the shopping mall then becomes maybe an even more important part of daily life here. So I'm going to head back now to my apartment and use the MRT service from Tumac Exchange TRX. It's a great, well-connected MRT station, which I highly recommend you use as a way of public transport to get here. If you like this way of reading life here in Kuala Lumpur through everyday spaces and those finer details, this is basically what this channel is about. life in Kuala Lumpur, life in Bangkok, through the lens of an expat, without the tourist stuff. So if that sounds like your thing, then feel free to subscribe. And YouTube thinks that this will be a good next video to watch. Thanks for watching. Mr. Henners signing out here, and I'll see you in the next one.